Driving down the wrong road.
Oh, I hope I don't get an infringement on that. There wasn't supposed to be any music there. Whoops. Okay, so it's just a quick audio test. How loud am I compared to the music? I'm just gonna turn this down just a little bit. How loud am I now compared to the music? So Seth is asking real quick if my character's moving with accordance to his steps. No, it's actually, yeah, just the animation scripts. I don't really like root motion. I don't know. I just find it finicky. So, yeah. I'm just gonna start now. Let's close this. Okay, so just a quick little update. For the past hour, well, I guess it was like 2 hours, I was just trying to figure out this. So it is slightly rotated for some reason right now. I think it's because my animation's not at the... Okay, there we go. Yeah. So basically, let's just press play. I've been looking at my world a lot, and I really like the look of the tiles here, right? Like, this is a good size for the triangles. This is nice. Remember, that's all broken. But I'm noticing, like, seeing all the way down to there, it's not really what I wanted. I want this area to be very compact. I want to also lead down a path and, like, be a little bit of wiggle. So I think modeling the whole thing, like, trying to get the whole base down, like, it was decent for what we did. But I think I now need to actually just focus on the individual detail and move from part to part. So yeah, I also noticed too, like this open area here needs to be larger by a lot. The mountains also need to be a lot taller and more mountainy looking. I don't really like the look, personally. They look okay. This looks nice-ish, but like... That's nice-ish if it was huge, right? If our player was like the size of a dot on that. Otherwise, it seems a little bit silly. So I need to make the mountains all bigger and change them. But I do want to point something out. If you see this seam right here, you can totally tell the difference between the left side and the right side, where this is triangulated, all that, and this has not been triangulated yet. Hello, Keem. How you doing today? So yeah, you can totally tell there's a big difference. We're going to have to fix that up. But yeah, in terms of our world, I think it's time to actually work with the individual tiles and make it so you can't see other tiles. Yeah, no, like I said, the mountains are nice, but they would look a lot nicer if, for instance, our player... That's interesting how that didn't size down my actual mesh. Is it because I didn't unpause? There we go. Oh, that movement speed. Let's also bring the camera super close real quick. Maybe 0.1. Yeah, that didn't update. Yeah, like the mountain would make more sense if we were like this big in relation to the mountain. See, like there, there's a good, you can sort of see the view. Yeah, I usually like, so Hakeem's asking what I do for a living, and basically I just get client work. So it's either make 3D models or websites and stuff like that. But I'm basically just using my savings to make this game right now. Right, obviously, like if this was the size of the player, these mountains make a lot more sense. It's like, I like how I can't zoom out because then it brings us close to our guy. Yeah. So Miley's saying I'd go for the quads, not the triangles. I don't personally. I don't agree with that. Mainly because if you have a quad, I'm sure I'll find a bunch of examples of it for you right here. You can see this triangle has two clearly distinct shadows, the one I'm on right now and this one. Sorry, if this was a quad, right? Now, if this was still a quad though, you wouldn't see this line in the middle, so it becomes an irregular shape, and it doesn't really work nicely with lighting, it confuses it. So if like, you can look at it from multiple angles, and it wouldn't, just wouldn't look proper, because it doesn't know where the flatness is. So for instance, this square right here, like as good as it looks. Oh wait, it's 2 squares. Now it's a bad example then. I guess the squares are small. There, right there. This one. This doesn't really know where the shadow is supposed to be on this because from multiple angles it'll still appear flat when it shouldn't be. Hard to do with such a small square to look at, but oh well. Okay. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to show, like I said, for the last hour I was working on the menus, so you can see now when you pause, it loads up some stuff. I just want to finish up the values that it gets here, because they all say 3001 and they shouldn't. But it loads up the right health and the right MP. And I also changed the little animation, so it does this little wiggle, little scrunch, right, which is kind of nice. Yeah, so these little squares are going to be different icons, like armor, attack damage, ability power, stuff like that. I just haven't drawn those icons yet. Now, we need to quickly... menu. Okay. So this is where I'm getting all the stats, and I basically just need to say... I'm going to hold it like this. I kind of like the little squeeze though. It's very minor of an animation. Doesn't really distract the player much. Okay, so we have the health, we have the mana. Now we need to do the actual AD. So let's just go AD. And then current stat equals stat holder dot transform dot find. And this is stat underscore AD transform. Current stat dot find. Value. It doesn't have visual just yet, so I'm going to ignore that. Penguin's asking if I've ever tried hand painting. I have. I'm terrible at it. It's one of those things where you just got to keep practicing. And yeah, I am terrible. So this stat now will be 80. Actually, I guess what I could do. Right now, what this is doing is casting it as a float. There's other ways you can do that though, or sorry, it's casting it as a string, and I could do it by writing this and then string AD. It doesn't seem to like that. Cannot convert float to string. Okay, well that's exactly what I'm telling it to do. Maybe I go AD to string. There we go. So get rid of this. This does not like me today. Eh? There we go. Okay, so I can do it to string this way, or I can just write plus AD. And that's another way you can implicitly do it. The other way was explicitly. Yeah, I think it's actually interesting though how the converting it with this didn't actually work. Let me find examples where I do that. So like right here, I'm getting the input and I'm setting it to be an int, right? I'm converting it to be an int. That works. I also typecast like enums, and I get the name of the enum as a string by putting, sort of like right here, panel options, horizontal counter. So I'm setting it to be panel options, right? So it's kind of interesting how the string needed to be toString. I don't really like that, but whatever. Okay, let's quickly change this to AP. Change this to AP. Now, one thing I could do is just make this a well, I can make it a loop, or I can just make it a separate method or a separate class, and then just call it. But it doesn't really save many lines, because there's only 2 lines to begin with. They're going to be 3 at most, so I don't really care. But if I go back into Unity, this should work. There you go. So it's 0, 0. Is that right? Is that right? Oh yeah, look at that. They have 0 AD. Okay, well, let's give them some values also, so we can test it. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 1. 66 speed, sure. Oops. Okay, there we go. Bunch of random values. Yeah. So AP. Did I call it armor? Yeah, okay. AP, armor, MR. Okay, good. And one more. And then I'm just going to go back to actually modeling the world. So, speed. Speed. Okay, I gotta skip this song. I just don't like that in the air song. I don't know what it is. Oh, but Logan likes it. Up in the Air was a no copyright sound song. I just closed it though, so unfortunately can't. Wait, it's still saying zeros. That's not good. Do I have to apply first? Do you want to open the game button? No, I don't. Interesting. Why are these values zeros? Oh, duh. It's the normal stats. Jeez, okay. So if I change these, this should work. These stats are basically if there's anything affecting the person, so like something that slowed it, those are the stats you attack with, but typically they'll be the same as these. So let's just hit apply. Joe Bumps, that's terrible that you're sick. Hopefully you get better soon. There we go. So there you go. You can see the values. Exactly what I needed. This one's unfinished. It's gonna have this background. I like it. It's kind of like a low poly water thing, but not. I don't know. I might even make that change based on the type of the creature. These look so bad over here. But still on steady progress with the inventory. What's better, Game Maker Studio or Unity? It really depends what you want to do. But then again, I really like Unity's engine even for 2D stuff. So I'm just going to say Unity. I'm a fanboy, I guess. Oh well. Okay, so, the world. I'm liking this less and less. Because like, it just doesn't have that sense of... it doesn't have the closed off sense that I wanted. Scenes. We're in the right scene right now. Oh, Hakeem, I'm not sure what you're saying there. The start spawn in the height. I don't know what that means. I'm going to turn this off for a second. I just want to see. Like, I know we put 2 days worth into working on this. But if I just load up a whip. There's going to be a couple extra houses in there now, but... You didn't load whip. Why did you not load whip? Oh, you did. We're just not there. I see. Alright, player. Moving over here. We're in the tree. Then again, I probably just like this because of all the trees and stuff. These trees are in terrible spots, but that could be why I like it so much. But I do like this, right? Because you have a valley. Like there are mountains, but yeah, I feel like once I add trees to the world, I'll just like it more. You can see that down there. Plus the terrain's been done, so yeah, let's just not worry about it, and let's hammer it out. Close one of these when they're both open. Okay. So for starters, all this dirt. What are 2 colors of dirt? Okay, that's fine. All of this dirt, I'm gonna uncolor you. Now I'm really tempted to hit apply on this decimate modifier, whatever, and I think I can. So originally I didn't want to decimate until after I'd done all these panels, but I'm gonna be having to trim them together anyways, So if I just decimated this, and in the future decimate this, then there wouldn't really be any issue, because I would just trim them regardless, so... yeah, so Keem's saying that I should use like a map maker and load them like through XML and stuff like that. I'm avoiding all of that. I don't want this game to be like a giant open world game. I want it to be closed off. So I'm actually trying to make it smaller and smaller and smaller. I think it's kind of funny. But let's... Where's our modifiers here? Can I make this even stronger? Yeah, I can get away with 0.35. Because I'm going to try it. Apply. Oh, look at how messy this looks, eh? Okay, so we need this to be like a starting house. So let's just assume that this is your little starting path. I need to get a nice path for it though. Also, this needs to be flattened out then too, so probably don't want to do it over here. One thing I haven't considered is how this water is going to work up against edges, so I might need to actually extrude this down like I did over there and put the water in. That's okay, let's just go with this. So this will be like a center town area, even though it's a small town. Nothing special. What does that sound? Doesn't Unity have some kind of level streaming support? You can load in one mesh for the entire world and Unity would handle the performance. Sort of. It's still better if you have a giant mesh to break it up. Like, I'm sure I could do it all in one scene. I don't need all the different scenes to load. Yeah, I can just set these to active true. But I don't mind the way we've done it. Okay, so we're going to continue with our path this way. And we're going to assume that this is how you leave the town. Okay, so let's, for now, just change the color. Okay. Now, obviously we're not the only house. So the way we have done it, is there's a second house over here. And one more this way. I'm sure it's good enough. Right. So the actual path you're going to walk on, it's going to be flat, right? Because like around it doesn't need to be. I think I made this too bright, didn't I? Yeah, that's not the right color. I'll turn on my display for you guys because I forgot. You have a lot of mountains, why not make a gorge? I probably will, like I said though. My goal now is actually just to work on the individual areas and change this up more and more so. Like these mountains aren't going to be how they are. I liked the flat facing wall over these mountains. Like that's cool for background, but close-up objects, it can't look like that. So. Okay. Now we want this to actually loop over, which is nice that it already kind of does. And then loop back down. Mosey on over. It's a lot larger than I thought it was, eh? Because if the water's up here... By the way, the water shouldn't be... That looks so retarded. The water shouldn't be a flat wall like this. I didn't think that through, eh? Just all rigid. Whoops. Okay, we're gonna actually put on proportional editing. No, we're not for all this, just for this part here. Right, we don't really want this to be so jagged. maybe we don't need proportion editing on. Let's turn that off for a second. This is going to be a bit of a problem because you can see how this is, well, it's kind of working. It's getting a little bit better. I'll still want this to go over top though. I really messed this part up, because this wouldn't look how it does. Why is this such a struggle to stay on top? Whatever. Silver one, it is more powerful, but it doesn't have as many features. That's the difference. Photoshop is like such a plethora of features. It's absolutely insane. Okay, so like that's still a little sloppy there. I'm gonna want to pull this up. Editing. Sure, pull it down. Okay. So yeah, the goal now is to actually just make it all make more sense. We are going to put in those other rocks that we had. Like, these rocks are nice, but for background scenery, not for being up close and personal with. The struggle is real. Alright guys, we've reached the 30-minute mark, so you know what that means? It's time for some ad roulette. The rules are simple. I love this game, it's actually pretty fun. Basically, I'm going to press the play ad button, and whenever PorSap gets the ad, let us know what the ad was. And yeah, we should probably keep track of who's gotten how many ads, right? Have like a counter. Find out who's like the most unlucky. But here we go. Drum roll, please. Alright. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick now is actually turn O off. Put face select. Do this again because we had some extra stuff there. Extrude it down. I think I pulled it way too far down though. So let's just put you right back up to like there, maybe? Is that the right amount? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe we gotta flatten this out though. I think I'm going to HTML5 game ad. Is that what he's saying? Ichimo says, I still never got an ad. You're lucky. You might, like I've been saying though, you might have ad block on. Mobile users don't get ads. That also makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so like this doesn't really go down still as much as I wanted to. And like on a macro scale, these mountains would only make sense if all of this was like a tenth of the size. I'm really annoyed now. Put all this time into this. I just don't think it'll work nicely. Okay, let's go check it out. I don't think you've been into Unity and Blender, says Logan. Only since I really started, not streaming, since I first made my YouTube channel is when I really got into it. We got a knack for it, but I never really practiced much. Right, we need to change this.
I'm coming closer. I will get you.
Okay, yeah, so even just seeing this path is actually giving me a whole new hope.
It goes.
I probably, yeah, it's good height too. I can run over it still. Some parts though actually break the game. Like my player can't move. I don't know what just happened there. Something about the mesh. So let's avoid that one spot. Weird, eh? That is. That's great.
Are you scared?
See, like these mountains they just don't make sense. In our scene, it doesn't work. I'm gonna have to get rid of them, I think. Or pretend that they're not there. Because I'm gonna be covering them up with the bigger rocks. That's interesting. I gotta flatten this out. Okay. Why does the game have to make sense? No, it's a good point, but it's just more so I don't like the look. Let's try pending those other rocks that we had before. So assets, house, object. Okay. Oops. Cursor to selected, and then origin to 3D cursor. Alright. Like, look at how big these rocks were. You know, I haven't sized them down as much as I probably should, but still, it's just really goes to show the flaw of my other design. That's alright, I'll survive. Save this, go check it out over here. I could also change the color too. That might make me like it more. If you look at the colors, they're rocky colors. So what if they were like... There we go. Well, that looks nice. Save that. Go into Unity. Oh man, up to 40 something viewers. Look at that. Especially on a Sunday, that's surprising. Okay, scenes. 3, 2, save. Imports. I don't like having these tabs open here. I find whenever I have these open, I get very clustered or flustered because it's clustered. I can't speak. I didn't mean to open that up. Rory. I used to call Brackies Amazon Thirsty Land because his real name is Asbjorn Thursland. That's hard to pronounce. Yeah, I also learned entirely from tutorials. Continue. Set this to 000. I might have to size it down. I'm not really sure. No, size is fine. Okay. Save. Scenes. Game scene. Okay. Let's check that out now. Rip. What are you doing up there, eh? You gonna come down anytime soon? That's tiny compared to the rest of this. What just happened there? I don't know if the scale needs to be applied. Oh, the scale here is only 0.3. That's dumb. That's really dumb. Control A, apply scale. This is really gonna break shit now. We'll size it up. If it was 0.3, it needs to be sized up by 3. That's how big it needs to be. So if I save this, it should load up the exact same here. That's actually going to be wrong, because that wasn't 0.333. Repeating. Let's see how this goes. Problems. Problems. We're having them. Okay. Alright, let's size this all back down. We applied the scale like this. We gotta make this load up nicely, because this, yeah. I've heard this My Name is Percy song way too much. So here was my mistake. I should have left everything to scale of 1. And then the import changed it. So if we actually load up these scenes real quick. Oops. You'll see, like, this here, they all have a scale of 0.1. They need to be 1, 1, 1. But then they're all going to overlap each other. I'm just going to change just the first one for now. Let's see if that's what I meant to do. I could be wrong. Oh, shit. This got a little bit too big real quick. Makes those mountains make sense, that's for sure. I mean, that just looked cool, but still, move really slow through it now. Okay. Yeah, we gotta get the scales right, because I kind of goofed on that, so now let's just fix it all. So first we gotta set them all to 1, 1, 1. This probably isn't right what I'm doing right now, but we'll see. Alright, then inside these. Yeah, these are all going to overlap if I do this. Penguin Boy is saying, big mountains look way better, and that's very true. I'm kind of annoyed of all these different scenes right now. I feel like since I haven't even coded the functionality, for the time being, I should just, let's save all this, it's fine. Let's go to game scene. Apply on this, okay. Let's go to temp. Okay. So this is our testing area. Let's just put in our testing area. So delete that. Imports. World. Right, so this is 1, 1, 1. You can lower it down however we want. Everything in it is a scale of 1. The water isn't, but that just means we haven't changed the scale in the other world. That's fine. And then here, let's just do 10, 10, 10. That might be way too big. We'll see. Actually, where is the player here? Press play. Let's find out. And we need a collider. Mesh colliders. Boom. This doesn't need one though. No offense to Hyden, but I wouldn't be watching if I worked at EA. I'm okay. That's believable. Everything's flickered. Okay, where is the player so I know? Right here. So way up here. Okay. Don't need to fall so much. Okay. Whew. Alright, size reference. This looks like a good size. You can see their shadows because they're floating up there. That's great. It definitely feels laggy right now all of a sudden. I could be imagining that though. Yeah, I think I'm imagining that because, like, there's no way if I'm only at 371, right? Doesn't really make much sense. I've proven off this game there's nothing you can do except great layers. Good point. Yeah, so as you can see, like, this narrowness makes it just look a lot better. Let's do that. Okay. So we finally got a scale here. These are going to be 5s. And then in here we have it at the size that we're at. So let's just make so they're not floating out of the ground, right? Now I don't have to even get rid of these mountains, but I probably will in the future when I start optimizing the game a bit. Oh, I know why this is like this. This tile itself, this part here, damn. Okay, we need these to be multi-edit. Alright. Oh, and let's just pull it up. I think I should have made that sharp. Alright, so it's so clearly the dirt's building to the mountain. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I like a proportional editing on still. Kind of messing it all up. Yeah, this is going to be much better. Pull this all down as well. Okay. So, our building's going to be added afterwards, so we can go do that over in the test seed. So as you can tell, right, like this is way smaller compared to these rocks. In reality, it would be something like this for the mountains compared to these rocks. So it really changes up how we're going to model this all, but I think my best bet right now would be to line up mountains sort of along this whole edge. Right. And then have trees and whatnot that stop you from continuing on up the mountain. Save. Alright. Back in Unity we go. Yeah, the rocks are kind of sharp, but I think it'll work once we get trees and stuff. It's supposed to make you feel like you're in more of a valley kind of thing. So let me just quickly turn off UI. Oops. Okay. This all being below the grid kind of makes it hard to look at, so I'm just going to pull it above the grid. Okay. I don't even know if any of this was necessary. And whatever. When we make the monsters, not for a while. Making the game in order, or at least trying to, roughly. Okay. Where are all these house assets? These need to be separated. In terms of prefabs, I have a bunch of them, like the trees and that, but I don't actually have those buildings as prefabs. So like this object, this object. I really should make them prefabs, but it's also interesting, they're modeled to go exactly where they are. They have to touch, or it's not going to work nicely. Hello Renz, how you doing today? Okay, let's delete this. So like this one doesn't actually work because it's missing part of the stone, but I'm sure it's easy to fix with the trees or something in the way. Never in time for the start of the streams. That's kind of funny, Renz. You are always a little late, but hey, doesn't really matter at all. That's decent, I think. Okay. There's also supposed to be like a normal house in here. Where's that one? There it is. Basic. So we're basically recreating that first scene that we had made, but on this little bit of a grid system. So far it seems pointless, but... That's not good. Let's change terrain again. Let's take all of this. What is this? Oh. Isn't that interesting? I really broke it, didn't I? We have to exit. Oh, Seth. You never know. What broke now? Okay. Let's move these to this layer. Unhide these two. Move these back. And rename them. Okay. I guess while we're also in here, we might as well. Did you know at a lot of companies, they teach you that if you're like a phone call operator, you have to smile because you can actually tell when someone's smiling over the phone. So like lately, you probably noticed that my voice has been like a little not as happy. It's because I wasn't smiling at all. I'm still not smiling. I'm kind of just bleh right now. But I'm also concerned with how this game's gonna work. But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting thing to see or hear. New mountain style. I guess it is. I don't really know. I don't know. Supposedly there's a way to know. I've never heard it, but all these mountains are irrelevant at this point. I'm not going to use them. I mean, it's good to tell me roughly where I want my mountains to be. I'll follow it, but alright, save this. Let's go over here. I don't remember there being this here. That's weird. Did it take so long to upload? Okay. I bet that happened because I zoomed in, right? I don't know. Like this whole mountain area, like what's like this is not mountainous. Why is this even, that could be mud if anything. But press play. Oop. Nothing has colliders. Of course it doesn't. Okay, a lot of it does, it's just 3-2 and probably 3-3 don't. Alright, so you can see it's starting to come along and look more like our other town did, right? And probably even better. I mean, it's cool that you can see the mountains off in the distance like that. Oh, I'm definitely going to make some of these parts so you can actually jump on them, just for no reason. I do find it very hard to smile and stream, though. That is a very difficult challenge. Now, I think these would be fine, but you shouldn't be able to see like a gap there, right? Like the sharpness looks decent here, but over there kind of looks meh. And yeah, I'm gonna actually try just to add the foliage now, and I'm curious to see how good it looks just with foliage, right? Because if that's the case, I don't have to worry too much about the actual like floor plan. That makes sense, like the way the ground looks, because that was my big concern, like literally every single vertex here. And this is problematic. Is this where I broke last time? Or no, I broke here. I don't know. I broke somewhere here. There it is. Because that goes underground, but it doesn't know it does. It's created. You can see why it's black there. That means I'm seeing the inside of it. So we're gonna have to fix that over in Blender. I'm gonna fix it afterwards. Let's actually add the trees. So real quick. Okay. I have an idea. I has an idea. I only want to have one scene open at a time, obviously, right? That makes sense. That looks totally fine to me. Okay. So all this extra stuff that we've added, I'm going to create an empty holder. Create empty holder props. Let's put in these objects into it. Okay, good. Then in our scenes, let's go to the 3-2 tile. I'm going to hit revert on this. I'm going to set this to 555. There we go. So we want to delete all this. We can leave the rocks where they are, that's totally fine. We can leave the water also where it is. Yeah, so there is the terrain tool, but you can only put it on terrain. So with the custom meshes, I actually have this plugin that used to be free and now costs $3, which is the prefab brush, which literally lets you just paint things on, and it works like a charm. So let's save this, the game scene here, so I get some light. Oh wait, I gotta open the game scene first. It's always confusing. There we go. Still seems kind of dark, eh? In game scene, we don't need these houses anymore, or this house. In the game manager, I'm gonna actually make it so it doesn't load up 3-2. So we just don't duplicate loading this one. Then, in the world. Oh yeah, there's one thing I want to check too. If I looked up my name right now, will it show the video? No, see, it only just says live now. There it is. There it is. It's, you know, below the screen. I guess people would see it like this. My own goddamn Blender palette tutorial blocks it off, eh? It really bothers me. Like, I feel like this should be before my name, or I was gonna change this image. Yeah. If I go to my page, does it show like a big video that I'm live? The visitors? No. Well, it shows it here, but still, that's. They need to really emphasize it more. It's my biggest pet peeve. Okay. So in that other scene that we just had, which is this scene. Oops. It's obviously making it super bright, but we just gave it this holder props. Let's drag that and put it into here. Here. 0, 0, 0. We'll deal with that in a bit. Okay. Wait, I was already in the right spot, wasn't it? It was. Well. It looks like we forgot these two buildings, though. So let's add those in. Then we can close the testing room. So let's just remove scene. There we go. Did I go crazy here? Oh, okay, that's what's... I see. And I didn't put these in the right spot. So these go here. And the props need to be moved. I think that's about how I had it, right? Maybe just a teeny bit lower. Mehmet is asking if I can make a tutorial video on my basic Blender to Unity map system. I suppose at some point, yes, I could. I wasn't going to be doing tutorials. And how long have I been developing for on this game? The first day of our stream was like the second day in. And I really got to start putting more and more time in. Not making enough progress daily. Alright, so I'm going to set this to be tagged ground. Which it's in layers. Ground. Alright, then we can open up the prefab brush. Look at that, even loaded the trees up. So we got the trees. We're going to put them in... this might not work actually. Holder, trees, set, because it puts it there, because that's our first scene. So this might be problematic. Also, I think 0.2 is too small for trees. Could be wrong. I usually stream for 3 to 4 hours a day. Okay, so we have this set. I can now put this on ground, and it doesn't understand it, right? But if I were to put hold of tree down here, save, and only open up that one scene, the prefab brush should now work. Or maybe not. Why is that not working? Did I not tag this as ground? I did, but does this also have to be ground? Huh. Oh, I know what it was. I'm an idiot. Needs a mesh collider. But let's see then if we are back in here. I don't want the water to be anything. Multi-edit can be deleted. Okay. Take care, Benjamin Blake. Thank you for joining. A nice distraction, but a distraction nonetheless. Okay, so if we gave this a mesh collider, loud enough that there we go. See, now we can do it. Oh, it's perfect, because then, like, we'll set older trees here, which is fine. We'll just have to move it down afterwards. So, click, click. Oh gosh, that's already too many trees, I think. Oh, there's supposed to be a house there too. I want to make this terrain come up more. I also think it's funny how, because I have the random rotation on, it really random, like, not random rotation, how it, because the ground is angled, it's also angling the trees. I just think that looks ridiculously funny. Alright, I'm going to save this brush as trees. Save. Okay. So save. Yeah, so painting trees is only possible because of this prefab brush, which is no longer a free asset, sadly. It used to be free, now it's $3, but it's definitely worth the $3. What the shit was that? Is this not in place with all the other scenes? What happened? Oh yeah, those ones are broken, that's right. That's fine that they're broken, but where's our player here? Why did that... player. That's why. Alright. Cool. Game scene, save, and 3-2. Where are my trees? What the shit happened there? Wait. Did I not save? Anybody know where my trees went? Okay, this is my 3-2. Okay. Weird. So my trees are deleted. Interesting. I'll set this again. And now I can't even draw again. Oh, because it's a default, right? There we go. I think I just somehow didn't save. And I added this, like I pulled 3-2 in here again. I don't know. I really have no idea what just happened there. Let's try this again. Now the trees are obviously really angled. They wouldn't grow like this. They'd go straight up. I could lock the orientation. I think that's what I want to do, right? If I locked it and I put it on an angle, it would still be straight. No, it won't. Yeah, it does. Okay. That might be better. There we go. Now one thing I need to do in the actual prefab is lower its origin point so it's slightly in the ground. The idea is I'm going to make this all rocks to here, and I'll make rocks to here. But now let's save both of these. Let's move holder trees here. Press play. Okay. So you can see like these ones that are on an angle don't really make much sense, but the ones that are straight up make sense. So I just like replace them real quick. And more of them, and larger versions, and smaller versions. Like this tree can be much larger. That's the point of this one. That's supposed to be the variety tree. Well, these bent trees look so bizarre. So Rory, basically I just have a plug-in that you have to get that allows you to basically paint them onto your mesh. Yeah, this looks great though, like this part here. You have the trees there. Now obviously the trees are slightly bizarre. If I actually went to one of these prefabs, I could just fix it here. But I need one that has no messed up orientation. So, just drag one of these in real quick and move it down. Did I get exactly -2? Wow, impressive. So the prefab brush is going to paint it exactly where this origin point is. So then, since the objects are lower in this parent object, that was a hard sentence for me to say. But because they're lower, they'll actually not tear so much when they're on angles and whatnot. So there you go. Let's remove them. And also delete those trees again. Now that we know we're gonna have the orientation set. Alright, so ground. I want this one tree to be 1 to like 3, and this one to be like 1 to 1.5. I'm afraid for that big tree. That's how big I just made it. Oh jeez, and that was only the 1.5 one. Oh my god, we're gonna get it there. Cheat. that's a 3.0. Look at the size of that thing. Because that's exactly what I wanted, right? I mean, I'm not against it. It's kind of a big tree, but doesn't look half bad. Doesn't look half bad at all. Does the tree go mounds? Yeah, pretty much, eh? I don't know. Probably a little bit too big. Make a tree house in it. See, that's something that'd be good, right? If you had a big tree like that, it would make sense. So let's delete. Oh, I also didn't set holder props. So set this 1.2. Set this one like 1.7 maybe at most. Okay. So. Yeah, that's a pretty big tree, but I think it's decently sized. And I don't want you to be able to go there, so I'm going to block this off with something. I just don't know what yet. Something with these trees that I don't like, but there's also something with the trees that I really do like, so I'm kind of torn. Okay, let's now switch this out to... I'm aiming for more of a sci-fi or realistic game. I guess it's technically science fiction, but it's like a fantasy setting. So we've reached past an hour and I forgot to do this, but it's another round of ad roulette. So, for those of you who don't know what ad roulette is, it's pretty simple. I'm going to press the play ad button. Whoever gets stuck with the ad is basically the poor sap and hopefully watches it, because that just helps me out kind of thing. You don't have to. And yeah, so drum roll please. Let's see who gets it. Okay. The problem I have with the prefab brush is I don't want to get rid of it, because... What's the poly count of these trees? Oh, I'll find out for you. One of these trees is 9... Wow, that's a lot of birds, eh? 910. 910. Those are a lot. 946. 946. Did I ever decimate these? I don't think I did. Or maybe I did and I'm just forgetting. If I tab in, is it already triangulated? It is. So I did decimate it. That's a shame. Another ad says Logan. How many tree prefabs did you make? Currently, there's like 5. But they're all pretty similar. So let's now load brush. I wonder if this will work. If I load up foliage. Nah, see, it doesn't know. It just gives me an empty panel here, which is kind of sad. Hello, Sergey. How you doing today? Let's go to our prefabs. Props. Drag these all in. Actually, I probably don't want to do the fence at random. Or the barrels. What am I doing? Okay. Grass. 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 More grass. Just skip some of these for now. Let's get some rocks in here. Okay, so the scale probably doesn't make any sense. 0.8 to 3, 0.8 to 3. I feel like these should be much smaller. 0.4 to 0.6. 0.4 to 0.6. 0.4 to 0.6. I'm going to make these vary a lot in size also. I think that just makes sense. For ground, we're also going to call this holder props set. It set it down here. No, it didn't. Did it? I'm curious, where's that going to go? Huh. They are actually being placed in holder props because it already existed. What the f... There wasn't that many 2 seconds ago. Okay. Another thing too with this prefab bush is there's no control Z. So everything you do, you can't control Z it. You'd have to go in now manually and delete them. I feel like if I drag this for like 1 second, it's just, yeah, it spams it, eh? So I did something like that. Okay, well let's go that the rocks are here, because now we can move those. I didn't save that brush, hopefully it knows. Let's move these rocks to like there. Let's also get a tree there too. One of these fat trees. See Facebook, yeah, 10,000 subs. I used to actually stream with a webcam on. We don't need so many broken logs. There needs to be like more of a method to this madness, I think. So like, it makes sense to have these near edges.
On the mountaintop and I'm begging for your love. Do you remember the type of folk we used to be and the simple souls we used to see? Do you remember a fallen man with no escape? It seems he lives in yesterday.
There's a lot of these giant rocks too. I don't know if I care to have all these here. Alright, so we have this house there, which is nice. It's a nice lower house. We can also put a house back here. Make it look like a rival house, sure. I'll put it on the top of the hill, I guess. I feel like just the tree's stems are too tall for the rest of the trees. Like, I think that's my big beef with them right now. Thanks, ePets. ePets likes the trees, which is good. It's always good to hear that people like it, because I am still a little bit concerned about them. Where is this fence? So the fence is something you can't get over. So I'm thinking I can put this all along here and then make stones continue. Right, and you just can't traverse this area. So this is going to be a boundary basically that you can't go past in the game. I don't know how I'm going to handle this angle so well though. Because if I angle this, then all of a sudden you can get past the collider. I might not put these colliders on it, and I might just give it its own separate boundary limit. If that makes any sense. We'll figure it out though. Yeah, we'll need like a tree or something there. I'm not sure what you mean though by Final X by saying adding a script to add it at ground level. Is that still on an angle? Like, holy moly. Okay, we're gonna turn it. Ugh. Something like that, right? And then this will go all the way to the water, I think. It's gonna take some time to copy and paste. We'll do that in a bit. For now, let's move them into folder props. So you're saying make a script that when I have everything I can place it, and then I click set to ground level, it'll lower it all automatically kind of thing? That's kind of cool. Never really considered stuff like that. Maybe I should. Seems like it would save time. We need to actually add water to this. Have I been following the North Korean situation? Normally, I actually do follow that stuff very, very closely, but lately not so much. And this is probably the one time it's going to escalate to something more. So I feel like this is when I should be following it. This looks really cool actually. When you zoom out, you can tell like, oh, I get it. Even though the mountains are shit. Yeah, one thing I've never actually really done in Unity is make my own like components, or well, I make obviously my components. I mean this part, like where you can have a no shared vertices or prefab brush. I program in C#. It's a very good language. I think this makes sense, that all these trees have been chopped down. Right. Can even put a couple throughout here. Alright, now we need some barrels, because, you know, all medieval games have barrels lying around. But clearly, that's just a thing. Noticing this stuff isn't actually like being angled when I put it in here, so like this one needs to be rotated like so. These definitely need to be rotated. Right. This section needs to be lower. Random log. Get out of here. I do not like the look of this. I don't like it at all. I do like it up here though, so I think it's just these trees, these thin trees. They're not cutting it for me. Like this to me looks nice, and then the thin trees are shit. And like over here really looks nice, so like Mika, I didn't see the question, but now, yeah, that's good. So basically Mika's asking, what did I go for school? I went to school for business. The only programming I ever learned was in grade 12, 1 year worth. It needs grass. That's true, I need more grass around, but yeah, I need to get rid of these tiny trees. They're just not a good mesh, in my opinion. They just don't look like trees. So like if it's 1-1-1, it needs to be like this. Like just deep underground. I need to have varying heights. That's a huge freaking tree. That's what I meant to do. I only really like this one tree model. The one where the stem is just a lot wider. Will the trees be moving? The environment seems lifeless. No, so they're going to stay static, but there's going to be things in the world moving, right? Like birds, particles, and people. So that'll make it look alive. Let's see this now. It does look very lifeless. That could be why. What Blender plugin to use to have the map and have Unity loaded as different scenes? There's no plugin for that. I have the map itself split into a bunch of parts and then a bunch of separate scenes in Unity holding one of those parts. There's just something about running, you know what it is? I think it's because I see all that and how it like drops off and goes to nowhere, right? Because I don't mind this view. Right here looks great. Right here looks great. But it's just this starting view to me when you go this way, where it just feels a little too open. Maybe it's feeling open. I could just make the trees sway, but then it's really going to increase the particle count. I have an idea. Alright, this might be a silly idea, but we're going to do it anyways. I don't feel like coding it, so I'm just going to animate it, right? So if I give this an animation, an animator, controllers, create, oh, sorry, I wanted the actual, oops, not this one. If I give this an animator, right, then I created a controller, tree, sway. Let's put tree sway on it. Alright. Then we go into tree sway. We need to create an animation. So we go here, animation, create tree sway. And basically we're just going to have it move ever so slightly. 16 point. Actually, it's probably really bad. It should be zeros. Right? And then have it... Oh, this is going to be terrible. Okay, let's try it. Put this at 0.3. Copy, paste. Speed of 0.05. Let's hit apply on this guy. So now all of the big trees are going to sway. You see it? They're oddly spinning. Not really the sway I was looking for, because I made them spin way too much. I kind of just wanted them to go in an angle, but it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Can I do the same thing now with all of these? If I gave it, oops, and gave it sway, and hit apply. Will they also sway? No, they won't, because I animated it like a buffoon and animated the base mesh. Okay. Let's go back to tree 5 here. Did I? Wait, let's see. Yeah, no, that should work then. So tree 4 has sway, hit apply. Tree 3, let's just give them all the thing and see what happens. Tree sway. Tree 2. Tree sway. There's also a tree 1 somewhere. These trees all moving at the same rate kind of looks dumb, right? But it is cool that they're all moving. So what we could do here... no, it's good that it's not affecting the mesh, so that's fine. I do want to change this sway though, because it's too much of... Let's just go to a different reference tree, okay. If you look, it rotates way too much, I think. Just like unrotate it. Okay, and give it a teeny bit of rotation, so like that much. So it's gonna go. Actually, you know what? I have a better idea. Okay, let's copy this, paste it here. Oops, paste it here. All right. At this point, I want you to turn this much. Then at this point, I want you to bend this much. No, that's not gonna work. So that's fine. What I'm gonna do now, I'll leave it. It's not really much of a change. let's add a script to our tree, and we'll call it tree sway. Alright, this script's going to be very, very simple. Animator A equals get component animator. Okay, I probably don't need to create a variable for this, to be honest. I could just do this. Yeah, so let's just go get component animator dot set float. And now we need to get the name of the float. We're going to call this multiplier. There's multi, sure. And then we're going to put this with a unity random value. Okay, I want from random range, I think. Okay, so then over here, random dot range, and we'll put it from, I mean, negative speed doesn't really matter, but sure, we'll do negative 0.05. No, negative 1, maybe, we'll see. Okay. So that's all we really need here. Now back in our animator tree sway, let's give it a float multi. I don't think I need a capital M. This is going to be with the multiplier called multi. Right now it's 0. That'll change here. I suppose I could have a script that like makes it change over time and whatnot instead of just setting it once you load the scene, but like it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. And yeah, it should be capital M. Oh, that needs to be to all the trees too, that's right. So tree sway, apply. We got 2 and 3. Now we got 4. It's interesting. Wouldn't that be changing all the size of all my things in the scene? Shit. It did. They're all 1.44. Goddamn. So we just like apply the 1. I mean, it's too late now. They're all gonna be the same size. Just for now. We'll figure that out in the future. But tree sway, and tree 1. Where you at? Tree sway. Aha! They're moving. The rotation just creeps me out. Let's just increase the tree sway real quick. Let's double the speed. Yeah, I need to cover up that one area there with the wall. Then I'd like this a lot more. And I need to change right here. This shouldn't bump down. It should go flat this way. Hello, Hypercube Games. How you doing? Yeah, I think the rotation is giving it this weird feel that I personally don't like. So let's just make it just bend. Okay, Let's go back to an easier tree to look at, which was this one. Animation. Okay. There we go. They're all swaying the same amount, basically. Oh, there you go. There's some variation in it, which is nice. Oh, there's no collider, eh? Yeah, the trees moving, though, does look a lot better. Seems a lot more alive. Yeah, what do you get? Alright, what do you guys think of this tree sway? Does it make it look better or worse? Because I'm leaning towards it actually is nice and better. Not 100% though. And yeah, this should be like something we can't get past. And then we just run past here right now, but that'll change. Is it possible to randomize the sway angle, says Micah? Yeah, so I could have totally coded it instead, and that's why I would be able to choose the angle. But then I thought all trees would sway in the same direction, right? Because that's how wind would affect them. I think the issue is more so that like the whole tree is bending down rather than it's curving, right? Matthew says, I think the cluster of mushrooms in that area is a bit much. Yeah, I like it, all this here, if that's what you're referring to, I agree. This all needs to be tweaked still. This would just place at random, right? And we got our start of our inventory. This needs to be updated to this one. I'm pretty happy with that. Items are all messed up still. I actually really like how this is looking, the inventory. Dosha's saying, can't you make an animation Blender and upload it? I could, but that's even more taxing. So if you have bones, that's like you don't want. In reality, I'd prefer if the trees didn't move at all, but I can't because it doesn't look good when they're not moving. Now this needs a collider. Also realize I wouldn't want the collider to move, so I think I'm gonna need to make another parent for all the tree parts. Oh, we're also at an hour and 44, so it's time for another round of ad roulette. The rules are simple, guys. I'm gonna press the play ad button. Whatever poor souls get stuck with the ad, tell us what ad you got. It's always fun to hear these people. It seems to get a lot of Wix ads, I've noticed. They must pay for a lot in advertising. But yeah, drum roll, here we go. It's also my favorite part of the stream is just ad roulette, just to see who gets stuck seeing an ad. I think it's so hilarious. Because it's supporting me, but which like that's a good thing. But it's also just funny because you don't want it's basically playing roulette, right? I can't describe it, but I enjoy it. Morph 3D and Grammarly. Yeah, there's a lot of Grammarly ads too, eh? We need doors. But yeah, so the one thing though, I guess point this out directly to Miley was, you said I should like put all the terrain stuff in, like the trees and whatnot, and see what it looks like, and it does look really good like this. So I don't have to worry too much actually about the terrain like I thought I would, because this already looks like a very lively world and haven't even put any of the live things in. Pepsi ad. Well. Well, you can see the other worlds way over there. Actually, why do I even have those on? Oh, because they're loading. That's right. Path, barrel, stump, grass, well, street light. All going. No, it can't move. There we go. Holder props. Mushrooms out. Well, I mean, it's supposed to seem like a magical world. I haven't really done any of the magical stuff for the models, which I'm going to start doing. But I kind of want you to be more of like a vanilla type town where like it just seems like a normal medieval kind of feel. Low poly, just like a basic town, right? I want the world to get more and more magical as you go through it. Terrain wise, I really got to fix this. This part really bothers me. This should go here. That should come down. This should be flat. We need some rocks over here also. You can have particles like bees or bugs and leaves. Yeah, so that is another thing I need to work on. Or not even work on, but start, is just adding particles. Haven't done that yet. Let's, actually, let's see from a new area, one we can grab from in a while. Take all this maybe. And this rock. Oh, of course that editing was on. Ooh, shifty. Oh, rotate, -90. I think I realized why I didn't like this so much was because this was just the flat rock. You didn't even see all the detail. So let's take some of these. I want to put so many secrets in this game too. Like that'd be something that only the subs know about. Like have like a secret cave here or something that's just like out of sight, but if you go in it, you get like an extra little potion, or like something like that. I haven't really thought of what the reward would be. It's gone down in Chinatown. Okay, let's take from this side again. I like these rocks. I do want you to be able to get over here at some point. Potentially. Maybe not. Like that's sort of like an homage to Pokemon games. But I might not do that. I might just block it off entirely. We'll see. That's actually missing quite a bit now, eh? Fill, W, subdivide. Fill. Fill, W, subdivide. W, subdivide. It's a dumb way to fill. Why does it not know? It's funny because this was originally just 2 tiles. It quickly turned into 8 tiles. How much is this area? 5,000 verts. That's actually not bad for this entire first town area and leading all the way to the forest. 5,000 verts. Not bad at all. I don't mind this. I can deal with that. I'll survive. Unity does have a collision calling. It's true, but I'm breaking up just for like safekeeping. This is automatic. Collision flame removes additional objects within the camera rendered. They are entirely obscured by nearer objects. Fastest way. So yeah, I have to mark things as static. Also something I haven't done. Samuel, basically the mountains are way too small in relation to the rest of the world. So I'm using that right now as a reference where I'm putting my little valley pieces. But aside from that, they look good from far away. That's for sure. The starting town having all this space. I'm gonna leave it open like this, but it's kind of pointless. You just run around, there's not really much in here. There'll be people to talk to. But yeah, it is starting to come to life. I'm liking it more and more. Then we got all these rocks, some trees. We added some rocks over there. Plus on the mountains, right? So they're not fully the same. Right, it doesn't have a collider. The mountain does. Oh, that actually is really cool. Being in like this area. Interesting. Yeah. So you see the rocks continue. It looks kind of cool. And this path can just end like that, and then over here we just have some trees. Like, you'll never get there, but whatever. Gotta fix that one log. Yako says you need to make a volcano region somewhere. I agree entirely. It's gonna be near the end. I think it's just like traditional. The villain's gonna be in the volcano. Doja says my issue with the mountains is that they're only there to block areas and shape one rather than being useful objects. Yeah, no, but that's the point, right? You need boundaries, right? Because I'm not making an open world game. As like, this does seem open. I mean, like, there's open areas, but it's still supposed to be linear, kind of. Need to block this off. However, guys, I am starving. So I'm going to end my stream here. Afterwards, I'll probably continue on my own, just work on this. All the UI elements, like get rid of those blue boxes there, making them actual icons, and yeah, no, see, it's not an open world. That's the thing, right? Like, it looks very open right now, but it's just going to get more and more linear, I suppose, and then I'll delete all the extra parts that I don't need, like all the mountains that are hidden behind these rocks can be deleted, kind of thing. Not all, because there's, you know, that sticking through, but a lot of it can be. We really gotta start getting the clothes going, and I want to get combat working soon, but I can't do combat until I really finish all this inventory stuff. There's a lot of empty panels. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I've been me, you've been you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I have recreated my Patreon with one beautiful patron. Yeah. Take care, everybody.